flex and I have God as my witness. Police tried to slow me down, but they couldn't stop it. I got platinum plaques like I got cars in my wallet. I got millions. Got the fucking...
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll be watching the dynamic Tyreek Hill. He's over 1,100 yards receiving so far and looking for more. It's the Dolphins and the Bills. And it's coming up next on EA Sports.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, it's January 7th, but we haven't seen you since New Year's Eve, so we have to say Happy New Year, one and all. And partner, Happy New Year to you. This is at the conclusion of the 2023 season. Hard to believe, but we got a good one here between division rivals. And you like what the NFL's done here, making Week 18 all-division games.
I think it's one of the more inspired moves by the league because they've made these matchups really count. And typically they mean something, not a lot of coasting as people head towards the playoffs. But I do have to ask, January 7th, is it too late to say it? We're kind of right on the borderline, aren't we, about Happy New Year? Because that always seems to be the subject of debate.
Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. To CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year, 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020s, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Khalil Shakir, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Bills march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Tagovailoa, and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You got to expect it.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Now this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Poona Ford, the one to get to him and drop him. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. On the return, Hardy. And just shutting him off there. There he goes right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Deontay Hardy, 49 yards. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
They really capitalized on that one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Short kick, and they brought it all the way back.
Yeah, you start thinking, wow, maybe he can take it to the 35, get us in great shape. Heck, he just took it the whole way.
Yeah, no sense stopping when they're not going to stop you. Take it all the way in.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Tua sets up to pass it. Now the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Well, 2 snaps ago, I don't think anyone thought a safety was on the table, yet it happened. They cut him on back-to-back plays, breaking through the line. No amount of evading was going to save him from a sack on either play, and on the last one, he ran too deep into the end zone to set up the safety.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Here's Hardy set to return. Oh, able to avoid him. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Josh Allen, 57 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
A run straight ahead with Achane.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Ed Oliver through the line and hitting him for the loss.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Tua. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Milano. Excellent job on that play. A big loss. 18 yards.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because
the pressure gets to him again. Gregory Rousseau. What a start to this ball game. Still in the first quarter, and he now has 3 sacks, on pace for double digits.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Nifty move. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen.
And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown.
A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Bills are an extra point away from going up by 30. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter. They're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half.
Dolphins nothing. Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On 2nd down, a run by Achane. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. He's got room past the 30. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at him in order to try and get the upset win.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Allen going to throw. And he's going to drop this down to Harris, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs. 46 yards. And the Bills are able to widen their lead here in this first half. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, That's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Now Tua on the bootleg here. That is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And Oliver able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. And he's loose again. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. Buffalo set to get the football back here. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback. And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. Stephon Diggs. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bills just continue to roll.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning.
21G.
Tua now on first down. He'll dump this off to Achane. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here now, 2nd and 4. Tua going to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Tua now on 1st down. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to pass. Tua. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Ed Oliver able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. And here's Jake Bailey now.
Jake Bailey in punt formation for the Dolphins.
Fielded just inside the 20. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll start with an AFC East matchup. The New York Jets taking on New England in Foxborough. And it's the visiting side who have the lead in that one. Garrett Wilson, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head up to Cincinnati, Ohio to check in on the Bengals at home at Paycor Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Tyler Boyd, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And that one all even as they play the visiting Bucs. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half. Because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running left, it's Fournette. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
To a hit, and the ball is out. Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Bills. Stephon Diggs. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Dolphins, nothing.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Dolphins offense returning to the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Got a man. It's Brown. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now third down and 6 to go.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Taking on the midfield logo. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 50-yard punt return touchdown. And the Bills are pouring it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
From his end zone, Wilson. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Ed Oliver, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here's Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Dolphins, nothing. Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. Miami set to take over. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Back to throw here. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Matt Milano able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 43. Fighting down past the 45. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Now, these two teams met earlier in the year in Buffalo, with the Bills winning that ball game. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On play action, Allen. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 35 yards. And the Bills are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Miami, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Here's Bass now to send it away. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. On first down, Tagovailoa. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll set up a throw. Now the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. Now the pressure gets to him again. Micah Hyde comes flying in from safety for the sack.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one, and that's what's helped them build such a large lead.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Bills look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. Bass on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Go ahead.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteeing he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The Dolphins on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. On the draw, this is Fournette. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Hardy set to return. And he's loose again. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Dolphins, nothing. Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Leonard Floyd in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, they got him again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. Here is 3rd and quite a ways. From the gun, it's Tua. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And that will be incomplete. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. On the return, Hardy. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bills going to take over again on offense. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game. This
is taken in. It's complete. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Now a 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out.
Can I talk my